First and foremost, congratulations to Ryan Fitzpatrick on retirement. Guy's the definition of a journeyman, and he's the greatest of all time at that. Anyways, Tua Tagovailoa gets a lot of hate. Too much, honestly. And I'm here to decide if he really is as bad as people say he is. And yes, my say is the final say. But before I get into the video, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated, helps me out more than you can see. Now, let's get right into the discussion on Tua Tagovailoa. FYI, this is not a film analysis video. I did watch a good bit of film, but keep in mind, the Dolphins are my second favorite team. I know, weird. So I do watch a couple of games here and there. And let's just start off with his positives. Tua is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the game, especially in a clean pocket, and even on his deep throws, which I know is surprising to many of you. He actually had a PFF grade of 81.8 on deep throws, but he was not good under pressure, like I said. We've seen this in both seasons, even his bizarre rookie season where he kept getting benched, and coming in this season, Jalen Waddle helped him a lot, since he could just give him the ball in any area of the field, hitting him deep, short, or an intermediate route very accurately. He can hit most throws with great precision, as he's very good at the easy throws, which, I mean, seems obvious, but some people actually aren't. And Tua can hit most throws with great precision, allowing his receivers to get some yak or get their feet in on the sideline. Nobody can doubt the accuracy. If you have watched him, you should know what I'm talking about. He's a very accurate quarterback. And I'll bring up one throw. The throw to Devontae Parker late in the year against the Jets on the sideline. I don't know if I'll be able to get the clip, because copyright and all that, but it was a perfectly placed ball in between two defenders where only Devontae could bring it in. And this past season, for my first stat of the day, or technically second, but you know what I mean, Tua actually finished 7th in completion percentage this past season amongst qualifying quarterbacks at 67.8%, which in my eyes is kind of elite. I won't lie to you, a lot of his throws don't have a high degree of difficulty, but why bring in a high degree of difficulty if you could just do the easy things very well, which some people cannot? Going off of accuracy, Tua in the red zone is a demon. He completed 66.1% of his passes, which was first in the league for players with over 50 red zone attempts, and had an accuracy rating of 7.5 or second in the league, according to playerprofiler.com. He also threw 15 red zone touchdowns to 1 interception, which, again, is kind of elite. And this has to do with decision making, and a lot of his positives and negatives have to do with decision making as well. At times, he's very smart with the ball and makes some of the best decisions he could. But then there are other times, which I'll get into later, where he just makes a bonehead move and it ends up going terribly wrong for Tua and the Dolphins offense. But obviously, he isn't all just positives. I mean, I've said the accuracy stuff, but let's get into the negatives. There's a fear that he is not willing to throw to receivers with little separation. People believe he cannot make the throw, especially because of his rookie year. We saw this a lot throughout this year, but we also saw times where he had the balls to throw it to a receiver that is contested. It was not his biggest strength. In all fairness, outside of Waddle and Gesicki, Tua did have some inconsistent play from other pass catchers, so I mean, it did kind of hurt him at times where he had to try and throw it into a contested window, and he just couldn't make that throw, or it was just way too contested. But then, there is Tua's biggest weakness, his arm strength. This is not just referring to how deep he can throw the ball, which is obviously deeper than most people think, but it has more to do with the velocity of his throws. That same Jets game I mentioned earlier, Dolphins late in the game were up by 7. There's a hitch route that Tua can throw to on this one play. The Jets corners all game were trying to bite on routes but weren't really succeeding. Tua throws his hitch route, and he just lobs it in there. It is picked off for the easiest pick 6 I've probably ever seen, except for that Carson Wentz one. Still love you, Carson. But that just can't happen. You have to throw it in there as fast as you can, and that throw would have been made. And again, earlier in that same game, I can't remember who he was throwing the ball to, but a receiver was running deep down the left side of the field, and he just simply did not get the ball there in time. It was minorly underthrown, but again, it has to do with arm strength when it comes to velocity. He has to get the ball there faster and in the right spot. If he had done that, it would have been a 70, 75-yard touchdown, however far away it was. People like Justin Herbert, who was in his draft class, could do that throw, could make that throw. I said that wrong. In my opinion, that is Tua Tagovailoa's biggest weakness. Not how far he can throw the ball, but the velocity of his arm and the arm strength that has to do with that. Yeah, and some people may be like, oh, but Joe, that one play to Tyreek Hill in training camp that went viral where he underthrew it. None of us care. Did any of us watch the rest of training camp? No. Or OTAs? Same thing. No, but we haven't. Don't take OTA or training camp clips out of context, please. We always do it, and it's annoying. Hell, Nelson Spruce was balling for the Rams in training camp and preseason that one year in Hard Knocks, and that hyped people up. Yeah, he got hurt, but still, he went nowhere in the league after that. Training camp clips don't matter that much, except the, DeAndre Hopkins, DeAndre Hall one, because that's just a classic. Now, that whole part, the Nelson Spruce thing, that was useless. I just kind of want to bring that up because he was actually fun to watch, and I agree with people. I was hyped up about it, but you just can't keep bringing up these types of clips from OTAs and training camp out of context because none of us watched every play. It's not possible. All right, that was stupid. Back to Tua. He's never had a lot of support. He's had a terrible offensive line and run game both seasons of his career, but with the additions of Teron Armstead at left tackle, Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, and Sony Michel at running back, as well as Tyreek Hill and Cedric Wilson at wide receiver, he has the best opportunity and supporting cast of his career. Let me point out that Myles Gaskin, who was the starter last year, is probably the fourth string running back. Let that sink in. Tua Tagovailoa is not as bad as people say he is. He's a starting quarterback with a lot to prove this upcoming season. He's still young, has a lot of time to develop, and is finally in a good situation. His deep ball and arm strength may not be the best, but no player, especially quarterback, is absolutely perfect. And Tua will improve on his weaknesses this offseason, going into the season, and will be a clearly better quarterback this new year. And to make my final point, we all know he's not elite or a star quarterback right now, but he wins football games. With an average team his rookie year and a solid team last year, he has gone 13-8 in 21 starts. Tua Tagovailoa will probably never be a top 5, 10 quarterback, but I think he will be a starter for a long time. He has a lot going for him. He is absurdly accurate, has the best receiving group that he's ever had. Running back committee is great, and the best offensive line ever in his career. His O-line was terrible in years past, and he was very bad under pressure, and a very smart, offensive-minded coach in Mike McDaniel is coming to help him fix those decision-making issues under pressure and sometimes just in general. This is his prove-it year. He has too much to fail, and if he does, my take that he's not nearly as bad as people think he is will be wrong, and I have no issue with that. His ceiling is not too high, but his floor is not too low. He's right in the middle of could be good but not great and probably won't be bad. That's really all I can say about Tua. He's not as bad as a lot of people think he is and say he is, but he is not great by any means. Yet, considering the fact that he is still young. And with all that being said, that is it for me, guys. Thank you for tuning into Fanatic Sports. If you made it this far into the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated, helps the channel out more than you know. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram at FanaticSports25 and on Twitter and TikTok at Fanatic Sports, and those will be listed right here. This is Joe of Fanatic Sports, signing off.